agency. I'm not going to always have my realtors represent me. Like, I'm going to have my realtors represent me, but I'm going to be the face of my business. I'm going to be the face of my brand. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be in the community. I'm going to approach this flipping thing in a different way than a lot of what I see traditionally or what my mentor taught me. So right around the same time, I decided to come out from behind the scenes. People were asking me, they're starting to see, dude, you're actually kind of doing it worked. You left your job and you haven't, like, we haven't seen you, like, you know, you're not working, like, you know, at Wendy's now or something, like, you know, it actually worked. So they're asking me, and then a strange kind of sequence of events, I'm kind of more realizing, okay, stuff that kind of flows through the universe, and if you allow things to happen, you take massive action, and you kind of, you pick your goals. Your actions have to align with those goals. And then once you align your actions, those things will come to you. And not to get all weird and new age or anything like that, but that's kind of like, that's what I'm saying with like massive action. Like you set your intent, you know, you pray about it, but then you take massive freaking action, and that's what makes it happen. And so I got introduced to this company called Lightspeed via a webcam girl. I didn't know it was a webcam girl, but like I said, I hadn't been on Facebook because I really didn't use Facebook at all. I had a few hundred high school friends on there, and that was it. And I post maybe once a year. So after GrowthCon, everybody started networking. Crazy. Everybody started friend requesting everybody, you know, everyone took a picture for the big 10X, and they're wearing the 10X hats with Grant, you know, so everybody kind of knew, like, off the Facebook profile, and people are just like massive friend requests. I'm new to social media, really, so I'm just like accept. Everybody, come on in, be my friend, yes, like, this is cool, like, actually people want to connect now. And apparently there's some scammers and these girls that want to charge you money to be friends with them. And I'm like, man, there's some good-looking girls requesting me and stuff too. But then this guy messaged me and said, this guy, Eddie, he worked for Lightspeed, and he said, hey, you keep popping up as the only mutual friend with all of these scamming accounts, these girls. And he kind of gave me the heads up and kind of schooled me. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we got to kind of keep them out of our circle so they don't show up as like mutual friends, so, you know, kind of keeps it clean. That led to a conversation about Lightspeed, this platform where they have a virtual training system, which is so badass and interactive that it's like better than anything else on the planet. One thing led to another. I got challenged by a mentor, the same guy who said go live, Mr. Hank Norman. Probably don't know him. I didn't know him before I learned about 10X, but he's definitely somebody that you should take note of. He helped launch the Oxygen Network. He's got a ton of media experience, and part of the reason, I mean, really, like, he's the one that said you need to go live. He told everybody in the audience, go live, tell the world who you are and what you do. Just a short live, and that scared the hell out of me to do that. And I didn't even do it at the event. I actually did. I waited until I chickened out. I waited until I got back to a house we were doing an open house at. That would have to talk about the house. But that led to, so it's like changing your circle. Somebody asked earlier, how do you hang out with these type of people? How do you hang out with millionaires? How do you hang out with multimillionaires, billionaires even? You start going to events. Like, that's how these people congregate in these kind of events. And that's how I connected with, that's how I tapped in. And then you connect with people online. And when your hustle aligns with their level of hustle, when you develop the mindset, it's an open door. Like, the club is open. Successful people want to see other people be successful. It's just that so many aren't willing to put in or underestimate what it takes. But it's always an open door with many I could say that I've met just from that. And then you realize, and then you start hanging around and you're like, oh, these people are just like me. They just kind of think differently, but then you start thinking like them, and you're like, and they get you thinking so much bigger. It's fantastic. So again, you're at the right place by here because you're already connecting with people that are either here or can connect you to the next place. Like, for example, at Paul's workshop kind of thing. You're going to connect with more and more people with that. So all the signs were there. People wanted to learn. I was introduced to a way to facilitate this with the Lightspeed platform. And Hank Norman told me, my goal, my 10x goal wasn't a 10x goal. I thought, I was thinking again, I'm like, oh, okay, well, 10x, I can do better. Okay, so 100 houses a year. Okay, great, I'll do my 10x goal, so I can do that. So
Add a zero.
and yeah, at a zero, right? And I enrolled in his boot camp after 10x too, because I was so impacted by him at that event, by him saying, you know, go live. And when someone says something, like a mentor says something that you know you need to do, but you really don't want to do it, but you're like, damn, they're right. That's when you know it's a good someone to follow, someone to listen to. And that's what happened, because he said, what's your 10x goal, dude? And I'm like, well, it's 100 houses a year. And he's like, that's great, but that's not 10x. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. What do you want to hear? He's like, you're still thinking like small. And it's like, so 10x, a 10x goal is teaching 100 other people how to flip 100 houses a year. Now you're changing, you can have an impact on 100 other people's families. Like 100 other people's lives have the potential to be changed, the course of their family history, through sharing what you know. Like Tina talked about, sharing what you know. Like, so that's what hit me. I'm like, damn, this is like, these guys are serious about this whole like thinking bigger thing. Like, this is really big. So then I developed Friendly Flipper Academy, and it all came together, a personal brand. It all came together kind of with like synchronicity in the way that I was just taking that massive level of action, not really knowing exactly what it was going to lead to, but then just boom, boom, boom. Let's keep going, keep moving forward, keep expanding, keep on taking massive action, like not stopping, basically. So I took the leap, developed a completely interactive virtual training program where that's what I use to give students the base and the foundation of wholesaling and house flipping. And then some I work with one-on-one after that, doing live weekly coaching calls, a Facebook group, the whole bit, the support. And this is actually a little outdated. We're at 71 students as of this morning. So yeah, so the community's building. And another person that you should take, if you don't know, Russell Brunson. Yeah, another one. I really spent the year, like I'm being very transparent. I was teaching people and showing them what to do, and they were having success. But at the same time, I was still learning what I was doing as a teacher and finding my voice as what Russell says. You'll spend the first year or two just finding your voice, and that's really what I did. So in we worked out the kinks, fine-tuning the process, and mentoring others to success. And it's really brought out something that's so much more than money, because it's like, money is awesome, and the rewards that you get, 6-figure checks are possible with real estate. 5 is common all the time, but when you can show somebody else how to do that, and they can do that, it's like, dang, it's a different feeling. So I love real estate across the board. It's basically like, from whether I'm doing it actively in my business, helping others. So if real estate's not for you, that's okay. But find what is for you. That's the biggest thing. Like, find what drives you, and what you know you can excel at, because you'll enjoy doing it. But even me, like, there's always a higher gear, and that's the thing that keeps pushing me. And that got me thinking about, okay, a coach and an athlete. Think about how a coach trains a star athlete. They're looking at every single thing that person is eating, their sleeping habits, their workout habits, when they work out, who they hang out with. Like, that if you took yourself and you wanted to optimize yourself for optimum performance as an athlete, like you're training, like, you know, how much time do you spend in the gym, like how much time do you spend on the court, like whatever your sport is, or the field, why don't we coach ourselves that way? Why don't we, if it was our duty to make this person as successful as we possibly could, and they were willing, wouldn't we? So if that was our job, so we are that person, but we got to take both roles. We got to be the coach, and we got to be the athlete. And the reason athletes are so good at what they do is because they practice. It's like, and anyone can play the game of business and real estate, because if you're not an expert, and I was never really good at sports, like just wasn't my thing. But I found like, okay, this business thing's kind of cool. So, hey, what you're naturally good at, gravitate towards that, and you'll start to kind of have some success with it. And that didn't ever come apparent. That didn't come into. It wasn't a clear vision until my late 20s. Like I had no idea what I wanted to do, and so at any stage in your life, it's okay to not know what you want to do. But I figured out, looking back, you learn by trying things. Like you just got to try. So now I'm like, okay, and this all came about with the personal development thing. Now I try to fail as fast as I can. So now I'm just all about trying, and I'm accelerating growth in the same way anyone can, by constantly just pushing. So a solid foundation for this is a morning routine. Implement a morning routine. Prioritize. Implement what these guys have been saying all day long. Take action. If I can stress one thing, like to sum everything up, is take action on what you've heard, like on what you've learned today. I came up with something for myself to challenge myself, the 30 Perfect Day Challenge. And that was like, okay, if I'm strictly focused on 30 perfect days of, working on my business, doing what I enjoy as well, but also merely making sure it's focused on being productive, I made this board up. And you can do it too. It'll, you can put things on Post-its. It'll tell you where, you can rearrange the order of things. And this was a while ago. Excuse me. What this showed me was that I was trying to do way too much stuff, first off, but I didn't see that till I had laid it out. Then I started to tweak the order of things. Then I started to figure out, okay, some of these things are great habits. Drinking a full glass of water first thing when I get up in the morning, that's something I generally feel better every day if I do that. And if I spend 10 minutes meditating every morning, I'll feel better throughout the rest of the day. So I took basically everything. If I take a cold shower, if I do some qigong, like all these things that successful people do, right? You hear about, okay, what are these billionaire morning routines and like all this stuff? Like, it's true. It sets you up for success. You work out first thing, it wakes up your mind. Like all of these things, they all make an impact. And it's crazy because it's like, you could wake up tomorrow and do it. So my 30 Perfect Day Challenge, come up with a morning routine. If you know better, what my basis for this was, if I knew better that I should be doing it, then I better be doing it. And so that means if I'm not getting enough sleep, I know better, I need to go to bed on time. I need to drink a gallon of water a day. I know that taking a cold shower wakes me up and gets me, there's more to it than just waking you up, but like if it gets your metabolism going or gets you in like survival mode, there's all sorts of different, stuff. But I don't need to understand all that to know that the effect of a cold shower, it gets me going better, So like all of those things I know better, implement it. Don't think, just do. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Just to give you a quick idea of my really perfect one is drink water. First thing out of bed, drink water. Write down gratitude and goals, things you're thankful for and what your goals are. It's huge, super powerful, and it's so people don't give that the credit because it puts your brain, puts you in alignment with the things that you want. And it's like, gotta be doing it. Cold shower, qigong, all of these things are on YouTube. Look them up, that's where I've got these ideas. Qigong, but I'm not amateur at this, but basically it's breathing and stuff. But free writing, that's also helped me. Reviewing my notes, training, working out. Then sometimes if I do the cold shower up front, I'll do the warm shower after the training, and then I start the day. How long does that take? This could take 2 to 3 hours. So but it's not that extensive now. That was the first one. Now I'm picking and choosing, and you really want to maximize, okay, what's the most effective things? Because be realistic, you can't always get up 3 hours ahead of time. But if you take the top 5 things that you see a difference from, that's the whole thing. You try this to see what the effects are, and if it works for you, run with it. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. Like, try something else. Priority one, though, when you get to work, when you get to your money-generating activity, highest and best use of your time. That's where your time needs to be spent. What must happen in your business? If you're here, it's making offers. That's the common denominator. If you make enough offers, you'll buy a house. If it's a different business, it's often a lead generating activity, but it's a different, what must happen in your business. Second, you've got to also know so that's got to get done. But second, you also have to be thinking about the future and where you're wanting to go. And there's some things that aren't priority one, but they can't be delegated. So they fall in this middle zone, and they're different for everybody, but if you pick two things each day, it's a very sizable, it's a very practical thing to do. It's not vital for today's success, but it is really necessary to grow. That's how I like to categorize that. And then everything else that you can, delegate. Paul said it earlier, whatever you set your dollar per hour amount at, if you can pay somebody else anything less than that to accomplish that task, you're wasting money. Like you should be hiring out anything that's less than whatever your highest. And how do you figure this out? Because you can say, oh, I'm worth 500, I'm worth 1,000, I'm worth 10,000 an hour. But realistically, what right now generates what's the most bang for your buck, where you exchange your time, and then and start from there and grow from there. And when it's a real estate business in general, it's going to be in the beginning acquisitions, negotiating with sellers, marketing, lead generation, making offers. Ultimately, you do this for 30 days. I promise you're going to be a different person at the end of 30 days. The crazy thing is you craft this whole plan, but it's just like the idea. Take it, run with it, if you find value in it. The key takeaways around this for me is getting uncomfortable. Keep getting uncomfortable. Your comfort zone will follow you constantly. It always catches up. It'll always catch up with you, and you have to keep just moving, but you're growing with each step. Surround yourself with successful people. Attend events like these. Attend the next things. If there's a coaching program that resonates with you and you think that's a fit, go for it. Like, I didn't know until I went to GrowthCon, but after I heard, because of the free content that he was putting out, I'm like, okay, this guy, there's something to this. Check somebody out. If you're, do your homework, but then if it makes sense, go for it. Like, you really don't have anything to lose, and you have a potential huge upside to gain. Cut ties with losers. You got to. You can love people from a distance. It's the way it is. People are either helping you get to your goals or holding you back. Seek improvement constantly. Always be asking yourself, what went well? What could go better? What could I do better? And above all, just take massive action and keep pushing. Don't give up, because if I could do it, you could do it. If they can do it, I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Hey, so if you would like to connect with me, if you want to continue the conversation, or if you think there's any of this that would fit, like I said, we do it all from, I buy houses, so if you are wanting to get into investing, I will show you what I'm looking for in the area, and you can bring me leads and possibly wholesale me a house, because we flip. If you want coaching, I do that too. If you want to fix and flip yourself, if you want to invest passively, if you want to talk about investment, we do pay our partners a very handsome return on our flips, and we do that project by project. That's a one-on-one conversation thing, but there's tons of ways where you can get involved in flipping in real estate here on the Central Coast. And I don't just do it alone. I have a team. So my office is in Santa Maria, and we're able to flip pretty much anything in California, but we focus on the Central Coast. So if you're not from the Central Coast, don't think that disqualifies you in any way. You got a deal in LA, if you got a deal in Bay Area, wherever, hey, we'll check it out. So I'm at The Friendly Flipper on Instagram, most active on Instagram. Daily I'm on the stories, updating. Sometimes we've got problems with contractors, sometimes we're walking property, sometimes we're kicking squatters out of all sorts of stuff, but it's on there. Facebook, The Real Jeremy Rubin, and then a quick way to connect. How are we doing on time? Are we about there? Okay, we're about there. A quick way to connect on the paper that's in front of you. If you would like to speak to me after, all you have to do is text the word FLIP to 96000, and one of my team members will reach out to you and we'll see, hey, if you think there's a possibility of us working together, that's all you gotta do. Text FLIP, F-L-I-P, to 96000. If you're interested in coaching, if you're interested in possibly earning up to 20% or net profit on a deal, if you're a partner, who knows? If there's a way you think we can work together, that's a one touch easy way. Text FLIP to 96,000 and then we'll follow up with you. Any questions? Got a couple minutes for a couple questions. 2 questions. No question. Okay, cool, awesome. Well, thank you very much for having me, and congratulate yourselves for being here.
A couple questions for Jeremy.
Sure.
Jeremy, you spoke at one of our meetings. Has it been a year or 2 years?
1 year.
It's been 1 year. How many properties were you doing per month a year ago?
I was doing about 1 a month.
1 a month. How many are you doing now?
3 to 4.
3 to 4. Okay. So go back to our videos, look a year back, and watch his presentation then, and see who he is now, and you'll see somebody who's absolutely growing, and the results of what he's producing is showing.
Well, thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
You're doing good.
Yes. Every
Good
day.
job. Excellent. Okay, so has anybody in here throughout the day done any networking that they've met somebody and struck up something that they felt like, oh God, I'm glad I went to this? Do we have a hand from anybody? Anybody want to talk about it? What they came up with? Just a quick, you don't have to get up here, you can just say what you think where you're going with it.
Thank you to Dan and to Linda for such an amazing event and bringing such amazing speakers.
Excellent, excellent, okay, yeah. And Rusty? Was it Rusty?
Yes.
What did you made a connection or something? Was there something there that you felt you got?
Oh, I definitely met some people who are interested in what we do.
Okay, okay, good, excellent. And I want to say, I feel like I'm in the process of making something really good because I've been just scouring the internet for all kinds of things on REITs over the last 6 months and just scrolling them away going, I'm going to get back to this, I'm going to find somebody, I'll get back to this, I'm going to find somebody, and Rusty showed up. Okay? And although we're not completely there yet, there's a good possibility that he could show up in October 26th at the Marriott here in Goleta, talking at least for an hour on REITs and then whatever else he feels good talking about. I don't know how much money you can generate from talking about REITs, because you know what REITs are, way more than we do. But people need to know about it, and I just feel, your gut feeling is if you think you need to be doing something, you should be doing it. So that's kind of what I want to do for people who are new, just starting off. This might be something to get them going, and for people, because I'm dealing with my dad who's 96, and I really see the value there for people to get out of all this complicated work and have something easier as you get into that age group. So I'm hoping that, this will work out. We'll see what happens. So thank you for sharing that. Okay? Thank you very much. And we are going to have, the other thing is Paul Fink. Geez, I cannot believe, how many years has it been since I was out there in Vegas with you? 3, 4?
With me?
Yeah.
No, it was
5?
no, it was longer than that. I think it was more like 6 or 7.
That's what my wife says. Dan, every time
Yeah.
you say that, it's like 10 years, and you think it's 3 or 5.
I usually are the same way. Time is
It's
becomes.
just like, ooh, it's moving,
I hear you.
God, time,
But it was wild.
how fun it is, What are they saying? Time flies when you're having fun?
It's
So-
been a great journey.
It's been a great journey, and I'll tell you, even Jeremy just mentioned, you know, the automate and delegate, automate and delegate, automate and delegate. And so, you know, I'm looking at automating and delegating, and I'm really pushing the delegating as much as I possibly can, which is why I have crews of people in different states helping with our rentals. But automating, I'll be contacting you because that's all part of it too. And you know, when you get to be my age, anybody want to guess?
360.
You win.
28.
So I'm going to be 70 in February.
What?
And it's real easy to feel like, geez, I must be, you know, those people you're talking about that have how many emails or whatever they're doing. And yeah, I can see that I need to up the game. So
We
thank
got you. I'm taking care of you, Dan. We got you.
Okay, thank you for being there, and thank you, Paul, for Vegas. You know, that's been my mantra since I spent time with you. And is there anybody here that signed up with Paul to do it sometime, somewhere in the future? It doesn't have to be Atlanta, it could be Vegas, it could be whatever.
I didn't mention, Vegas is coming up in
February.
which seems like an eons away, although it's right around the corner for most of us. I'm already planned out through the end of 2020, and so it's just a great mantra for all of you to start planning for your future. And so 2020 in February will be in Las Vegas, and
Yeah, I guarantee you, if you
Tickets
sign
paid.
up today for the 300, you'll get it paid by the time you go to Vegas.
true.
I don't even know if you need to have it paid, whatever your payment structure is, but it'll make a difference. 3 days, you know, watching what people get out of it, watching what you get out of it. You're going to get as much out of it as you will anything else. Whatever you put yourself out to, whatever questions you ask, whatever the comfort zone is. I sat back there today going, gee, I really need to get up and kind of interview the people here and get some more of these videos up on there. And why don't I feel like doing it? Oh, because I'm just lazy and I figure I'm 70 and I'm retired. I don't need to. Come on, get off your ass and get out there and do it. So, you know, it's the comfort zone thing. You just got to push yourself constantly. Like Jeremy said, you know, here's the comfort, get away from it. Here's the comfort, get away from it. It's okay. We can look stupid, we can fail, but we can learn while we're doing it. So please, I just encourage you to work with Paul before he takes off and see if there's a possibility for you to get out of that comfort zone and see what's up for you.
Can I give a gift to
Gift?
everyone? Is that possible? Anybody want a gift?
Yeah.
Some of you might have grabbed this, and because I've talked to you one-on-one, only I've got a, time management is one of the keys to success. Who here agrees? Yes?
Absolutely.
Prioritization of time. And so I wrote a book on some of my time management techniques and strategies that is available to you. All you gotta do is download it. I know we've been talking a ton about technology, and so this will test your ability to manipulate technology. All you gotta do is write this down. Ready? Text 38470. That's the phone number, 38470. And you're going to type in more time as one word. More time, one word. Type that in. So text more time to 38470, and you'll get a download of a book that I wrote on time prioritization called Maverick Time, to really get clear with what's going on in your time and how to take control of it.
Excellent.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Paul. Thank you. So just imagine you signed up for this and you went to Vegas. Every time he comes back to Vegas, you now have an opportunity to go see it again at no extra charge, right?
And then it becomes a write-off.
That's-
Just saying, taxes are really good, so every time you come, you spend some time at our boot camp, the whole trip becomes a write-off for you. So who here would like an instant write-off for all their Vegas trips?
You're in my head, Paul. I was just going to say that. You're reading my mind. You know, why not use the write-offs?
It's why, I'll tell you, we just did an event in Vegas, and why the next one's in February, because we just did one last month in July, and I had all my kids with me.
Wow.
So all my kids were there, actually, all my kids plus a boyfriend were there. You know, you have to make everyone happy. And it all was a write-off, because one of my children was audio video, all the rest of them were on the stage at one point or another. This was all part of the experience, however, we were there for 8 days. But the trip became right off because they were all part of my marketing team and all part of the business
And is it wonderful to have your family with you?
at all times.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so good. Thank you, Paul. 7 kids?
Only 6. 3, 6.